Well, and that concludes our trip to Las Vegas. I don't even say probably, it is the most fun I've ever had in Las Vegas. I'm always here just for conferences, and so it was great to come with the family and not really have all of the conference stuff to do and just spend some time exploring. Hopefully you're enjoying following along with these. The next leg of the journey, we're going to spend the next 6 days or so in Anaheim at VidCon. One of the big downsides is trying to pack 5 people plus all of the stuff for 5 people to be gone 30 days into a minivan. This would be a lot easier if we had a full-size travel van. And another thing we kind of figured out on the road, like if you're in one place, it's not a big deal because you just take everything in. But when you're at a hotel and you're at a different hotel each night when you're actually road tripping here, well, then you need to make like 1 or 2 bags for each day for everybody. So you don't have to take everybody's full wardrobe in and then load it back up the next day. You can just take in those 1 or 2 bags, and then everybody has what they need for that day. And now we have arrived in Anaheim, which I am surprised is 20 degrees cooler than it was when we left Vegas. This is so much nicer. And I'm headed to the most exciting part of this trip for me, which is VidCon. Never been to a YouTubers conference, a content creation or content creators conference. It's going to be, fun. There's a few people here I know, but it's always good to kind of get to mingle and mix with a new crowd of folks. I am walking. We're staying down the street about half a mile, so I'm walking down for registration and a little industry track mixer. We'll see how that goes. Okay, well, the first stop is the Industry Track event. It's been a while since I've been to a conference. I don't know if I've ever been to a conference. I pretty much do e-commerce conferences, and this may be the first time I've had to pay for a drink at a conference. But just going to walk around. You can see some of the people behind me, awful lot of folks here. Just start striking up conversations, talking to people, and see how it goes.
And each of these features run independently of each other and have specific goals of what they're trying to accomplish. Now, from YouTube's perspective, there's only really 2 major goals that they're going over, is they really want to predict what's best for the viewer.
All right, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon here, and haven't really filmed a whole lot. I've just spent all morning actually networking with some key individuals. Okay, I did find something interesting I've got to report back on. The vast majority of this exhibition space are actual merchants that are set up to sell merchandise. And I don't really see much inventory. Some of them may actually stock. Some of them you may have to ship it home, or they may ship it to you at your home. I guess I know this is a different audience, a different type of conference. There's not a ton. Maybe there's a different exhibition space for the industry track. This is more for the fans that come here of the bigger YouTubers. But first time I've ever seen an exhibition space where there are actually people just setting up little shops like it's a craft fair or something. It's kind of interesting, unique. Thought I'd at least note that.
Well, the first goal is they're trying to predict what the viewer will watch. They're very, very, very sensitive to the viewer because that viewer will help YouTube expand and grow to where it needs to be. So I want you always to remember what the viewer is.
that VidCon's over, we're going to take today and do a little tour of Hollywood before we start heading up the coast. So I'm going to show you some of that, and let's see what we find here in Hollywood. Pretty much concludes the third leg of our journey. The first was over to Vegas. The second was the time we spent in Vegas, and now here in Anaheim for VidCon. There wasn't a ton I could actually film in Hollywood. It was really just a bunch of sardines stuck in a can, and so everything I tried to film was just the backs of people's heads and stuff. So not really my idea of a good time. Maybe I'm too difficult to please. I don't know. My wife tends to love that touristy stuff until she gets in it, and then she seems to agree with me. But it's just not fun to me. I would much rather be just kind of, sitting somewhere comfortably, maybe drinking a beer, having a good time, having some conversation with folks. Had a lot of fun at VidCon. Learning about creating content, meeting some different content creators. But this touristy stuff is just not really a good time to me. But we did it, took the girls over to Hollywood, tried to, walk up and down the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and shared with you as much as I could possibly share. We did go to Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, which is just creepy, man. They look like people, but they don't move and they don't blink. And it is just strange. But I'm going to leave you with some shots of celebrities in wax, and then we're going to make our way up the coast over the next several days to San Francisco, San Jose area. I'm going to do my live stream on Friday with Webscale, and look forward to seeing you on Friday, if this video gets out before then. If not, hopefully you joined us on Friday, and I will catch up with you after this next leg once we go up and down the coast.